Hello everyone! We're going to take a quick first look at the heroic version of the Korag encounter in High Mall. The main mechanic of this boss is Nullification Barrier. This is a shield that is present on Korag when the encounter starts, and it absorbs about 4 million magic damage. While the shield is active, Korag gains a stacking damage increase every 10 seconds, which is removed when the shield is broken. After your raid does enough magic damage to Korag, Nullification Barrier will be broken. When Nullification Barrier is broken, Korag immediately begins recharging it. This is a process that lasts for 20 seconds, at the end of which his barrier is once again refreshed. When Korag recharges his Nullification Barrier, he places a rune under him that essentially is what charges his barrier. If a player enters this rune with Korag, he absorbs a portion of the energy of the rune. This causes the player to take arcane damage every second while they are inside the rune and also receive 35% less healing. However, when the rune finishes charging Korag's Nullification Barrier, the player will also gain a Nullification Barrier proportional in size to the amount of time that they spent in the rune. If a player spends the entire 20 seconds inside the rune, they will gain a 15 million magic damage absorb shield, the maximum possible in this case. It is important for one of your raid members to do this and gain Nullification Barrier because this is needed to deal with another ability in the fight called Overflowing Energy. Korag will regularly cause orbs of arcane energy to fall slowly to the ground. The location where an orb is about to hit is clearly designated. When an orb reaches the ground, it explodes, dealing raid-wide damage. However, the orbs can be intercepted if a player stands under them. In this case, that player takes a very large amount of arcane damage, about 1.5 million, but the orb does not damage anyone else. The number and frequency of orbs increases as the fight goes on, and it is essential for the player or players who have Nullification Barrier to intercept these orbs to prevent any raid damage. In addition to this, there are a few other abilities that Korag uses throughout the fight. The first is Suppression Field. Korag charges a random raid member, dealing damage in an 8-yard area around them and placing a suppression field at their location. This is essentially a large void zone that silences anyone who stands in it and also causes anyone standing in it to take damage every second. It is important to note that these void zones also silence volatile anomalies, adds which regularly spawn throughout the fight. So let's talk about these volatile anomalies. While Korag's Nullification Barrier is down and is recharging, every 8 seconds 3 volatile anomaly adds will spawn. These adds don't have any abilities and all they do is melee, but when they die, they cast Destabilize, dealing raid-wide arcane damage. And this is where the suppression fields come into play. If a volatile anomaly dies inside a suppression field, it will not deal its raid-wide damage. Finally, Korag has 4 Expel magic abilities that he regularly casts throughout the fight. Expel Magic Fire is a dot that Korag applies to all raid members. It deals fire damage every second for 10 seconds, and when it expires, it deals a large amount of fire damage to all allies within 5 yards of every player. Expel Magic Shadow is a debuff that Korag applies on the entire raid that absorbs about 100,000 healing received on every player. Expel Magic Frost creates an orb of frost that lasts for 20 seconds and, while it is active, deals a large amount of raid-wide damage. While the orb is active, it also slows the movement speed of all players within 30 yards, but the further away players are from the orb, the less they are slowed. Finally, Expel Magic Arcane is a debuff that Korag applies to his current tank. While the debuff is active, the affected player will leave behind arcane energy on the ground every half a second, which explodes after 1.5 seconds, dealing damage in a 5-yard area. Basically, this player has to keep running around so that they don't get damaged by their own arcane explosions, and of course they should run in such a way that no other raid members are damaged either. While the effect is active, the player takes 100% increased physical damage, so the other tank needs to taunt the boss. That's it for this fight. As we come closer to the release of Warlords of Draenor, you'll be able to find a detailed written guide on our website. Thank you for watching and good luck.